What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Unknown Coatings channel, and it's been months since a video, but we're here to do a video on the biggest project I've ever done, and it is this giant aluminum boat. As you can see, even in a big booth, it's a tight fit. Luckily, this, before I got involved in this project, had already been primed. It was on a set up on a custom rack, which you guys saw. You can actually see it here. But even in this big booth, it still takes up most of the space. I am not working in the normal shop that I am in, so I'm over in a different shop, but still using the Optiflex Pro. I'm going to dial this thing in, and my job is to be spraying the outside of this boat. We're using a color from Prismatic called Cloud Veil. It's kind of just like a metallic primer gray, honestly. It's not going to be too drastically different from the primer that you already see on this boat. The primer on this boat is a Tiger primer, if I remember correctly. Like I said, I didn't actually spray the primer on this boat. I was brought into this project after the primer was already on. And we're just going to be throwing powder, and we're stacking powder on this thing. We're doing 2 coats of powder, 2 coats of the color for this powder. It's not getting cleared or anything like that. And I don't know too much about this boat. I know that it is incredibly wide. The setup for the boat was a little bit confusing. And I don't know a ton about boats, honestly, so I can't give you a ton of information about this one in particular. I will say that working on this was less than ideal. As you can see, I spent a bunch of time just under the boat, laying on my back, and that was not fun. And as I said before, I was only responsible for doing the outside of the boat. The inside of the boat here is being sprayed by Jeff. You might notice this is actually being sprayed with a different gun, for anybody who pays attention to those things. This was actually being sprayed on the inside with a Wagner Sprint. I don't know exactly why there are 2 different guns in this particular booth. I know that a lot of the projects get sprayed by 2 different people at the same time, because everything that goes through this booth is pretty ginormous, like this boat. And once the first coat on this boat is done, I gotta come over here and obviously get some chocolate milk. We actually started this project at about 6:30 in the morning, which isn't drastically earlier than I'd normally start powder coating in the morning, but this was also on a weekend, and chocolate milk is my go-to. So I got done with the outside of the boat a little quicker than Jeff got done with the inside of the boat. So I just hung out and waited for him to finish this up, so that way I could go ahead and spray the back of the boat. Obviously, his hose was running up the back of the boat, so we didn't want to try to powder coat the back of the boat and then be dragging a hose across it the whole time. So once he was done, we got the ladder out of the way and hoses out of the way. I went ahead and sprayed the whole back of this boat. And while you guys are enjoying this, obviously, riveting footage of a powder gun just spraying powder onto a boat, I did want to let you guys know that I am going to be back on top of videos. I have so much footage recorded. I just need to go through and start editing them. Gonna start putting up a couple videos a week again. I know I've said that in the past and failed it, but I promise we're gonna get to it. If you want to see more powder coating and powder coating content, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, share this video with a friend. All the things we can do to get back on board in the algorithm would help immensely. And if we can get a good number of likes and good number of comments on this video, I have actually a special surprise for you guys as well. So gonna rack the gun up here and deal with the hard part of this particular task. So the cart that this is set up on, it does roll, but because of the way that it's the weight is distributed and how it's balanced, and only 2 of the wheels being turning wheels, it is incredibly hard to get in and out of this booth and into the oven, and then back out of the oven. So we cheat, use a forklift to lift up the turning wheels and bring it, or the non-turning wheels rather, and bring it straight out. And then we start basically working it in a circle because we want to push it into the oven with the nose of the boat going in. You're actually going to see I do very little in this particular process. I'm more or less just making sure that the boat doesn't hit anything. Once again, this is not a shop that I am normally in, so I'm just over helping with this one project. And there's only one good place to grab this cart and manipulate it, so I let Jeff handle all that. You can call me lazy or whatever, and I probably was, honestly. I didn't want to climb underneath the boat and try to push it around. It was easier for me just to get some guidance. So knock the doors open here, and we are going to shove this thing back into the oven, and I think we figured out we had, I want to say it was 9 inches on each side when we did the measurement. It might have been actually 7 inches, but it was less than a foot. That doesn't sound like much, but it's still really uncomfortable pushing, or it doesn't sound like a big deal, I should say, but it is still a nightmare to get this thing in and out, especially with the length of it. This boat's actually a little bit wider up at the front than it is at the back. Once again, I have no idea why. I don't know why boats are the way that they are. And this boat was even more confusing once I saw it finished.
Hi everyone, I hope you liked the video, but I still need you to do me a little favor. Sean said that if I can get 150 likes or even just 50 comments that he's going to teach me how to powder coat. So drop a quick comment, let us know what you think, hit the like button, and help me learn how to powder coat, please and thank you.
That's right, you guys heard the lady. If we can get 150 likes on this video and or 50 comments, all in an effort to get back up on the algorithm, I will be teaching a lady how to powder coat on the channel. And she's actually going to be on this channel quite a bit more regardless, but she does want to learn how to powder coat. I would love to teach her how to powder coat. So help us out, hit that like button, leave a comment or 2, 5, 7, whatever. I don't know if they'll all count like that, but 50 comments or 150 likes shouldn't be a big deal for us to get to. You guys usually slay it on the likes on these videos. So help me out as best you can. So I didn't actually show putting the second coat of powder on this because it was going to be a lot of the same. And I realized that my camera kept getting covered in powder as I tried to record it, or the lens kept getting covered in powder, I should say. So I skipped through all that. We're putting the boat back in the oven for the final cure now. Obviously, we did a partial cure, sprayed the second coat, and then these are all the panels, accessories, all the little covers, like box covers and stuff. So Jeff and I just kind of tag team this real quick. This is obviously just this little small rack of stuff that's going to go through the oven as soon as the boat comes out. So Jeff and I running through this obviously goes pretty quick. This is a time lapse, as you could probably tell. I have no idea what this is. I think it's at 5 times the speed or something like that. So just chucking powder on these things, trying to get them ready to go in the oven. The boat in, the gas oven, big, thick, heavy aluminum boat. So it goes pretty quick. And I know I've shown you guys some stuff on the Optiflex, both a 2B and then the Pro. If you guys want to see some Wagner Sprint videos, let me know. I can definitely make that happen. This is the boat after it has come out of the oven for final cure. We're going to kind of drag it out, obviously, once again, utilizing the forklift to make this work. Once again, a very tedious process getting this thing in and out. But we're going to pull it over here into the sun so I can show you the color a little bit. Once again, this is absolutely the largest thing I've ever powder coated. And as much as I love powder coating kind of new things, especially if I'm able to show you guys, this is not a project that I necessarily love doing. It's good for the experience, obviously, but not really my thing. We'll get a close-up of this color right here. As you can see, it's just kind of a nice pearly, metallic-y, once again, kind of primer gray. There's not much to this boat. They wanted it to match the truck that would be towing it, if I remember correctly. And this is after they put all the, I want to say it's called like Aqua Deck or something like that. It's like a non-slip mat that they put on the interiors of boats all the time. And I don't know why I'm completely blanking on the name. But as you can see, most of the inside was completely covered. It did look pretty cool, in all honesty. This is one of the only pictures that I got to see of it, kind of completed or near completion. It's obviously still not in the water, so there's probably more to do to it. But that'll wrap this video up, guys. Like I said, I actually do have more videos coming up. The next video I put out is going to be a second video about the new chemical stripper that I'm using, showing just like what it's been working on, how well it's been working, the different things that I've been able to strip off with it, as well as doing some of the other stuff like showing you guys how to test the pH and how to make adjustments to get your pH to the exact right spot, as well as like cleaning out all the sludge and servicing these units. So look forward to that. Make sure you hit that subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.